Gian Villante versus Jake Collier, and we got minus 220 on Gian Villante and plus 180 on Jake Collier. Fight doesn't go to decision is minus 230. That obviously makes sense, but fuck, I don't know which way to start here. Let's start off with Gian Villante, 17-12. Uh, what is he? Man, his last little stretch. So he beat Saperbeg Safarov in December of 2016, and since then he is 2-5, 2-5. Sorry, he had a draw in a grappling competition against Chris Camozzi back in June of 2019. But he's coming off a modified choke from the bottom, according to Tapology, to Maurice Green. It looked like his sad attempt at an Ezekiel choke, but it was so weird because it was like from bottom, from half guard, and he just put up a kind of choke type of position against Gian Villante, and I think it was literally the exhaustion that Gian Villante ended up tapping to. We saw him absolutely gassed going into that second round, even more gas going into the third round. However, he was successful in landing on Maurice Green, dropping him, trying to finish him in that last little flurry that he had on the ground. However, Maurice Green does enough to keep moving, avoid the big shots to get taken out of there, and then he locks up this choke, and yeah, you see Gian Villante to tap there. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of Gian Villante, or I'm sure he's great as a person and all that, but I just mean in terms of his fighting style and how uncoachable he is. I mean, I love shouting out Keith Trimble because that guy looks like an amazing coach, like he just means nothing but the best. But every time he's in Gian Villante's corner, it looks like he's going to be, losing years off of his life just because he's just popping every brain cell in his forehead, trying to get through to Gian Villante. And you'd think after cornering him as long as he has, he knows that Gian Villante is just not going to listen to him. It's just hilarious. Like he's throwing them, going into that third round. He's like, all right, we need volume here. Let's pitter patter him. Let's try to accumulate output and try to score this round in our favor. What does fucking Gian Villante do? Go out there and throw bungalows. And even after the first couple of bungalows that he throws, you hear Keith in the background just pleading, Gian, relax, calm down, slow it down. And Gian's like, fuck it. I'm going to try to take out Maurice Green. God damn, it's probably the funniest part of just taping Gian Villante fights is seeing Keith Trimble just lose his shit. But we know what Gian's about, and now it's pretty clear that he just does not give a fuck about his fighting career. Put on the massive amount of weight that he was actually supposed to fight Ben Rothwell at heavyweight back in April when COVID initially hit. Then he gets another 2.5 months to prepare for Maurice Green and still comes in absolute dog shit shape. Yeah, his cardio did not look on point. His punches seem slow. The guy has a background in wrestling and just refuses to use it. I mean, I think he's too far gone from his wrestling days at this point to truly use it to a full effect. So I'm not really banking on him to go out there and out wrestle Jake Collier here. Now on the opposite side, we got Jake Collier, who used to fight at 185 pounds, even 205. He's slowly been getting higher and higher in his weight classes. Was it 185? Yeah, he was fighting at 185. Even his first UFC fight, 185 pounds. But now he's at 205. He had taken off about 3 years, close to 3 years, between the Marcel Fortuna fight, which he won by decision, and his return against Tom Aspinall, where he got crushed in 45 seconds. Now, there's not too much to take from that 45 seconds that we do have of Jake Collier here at heavyweight, but it's obviously concerning that he came in at that 265 limit. A lot of people thought he'd probably come in around that 240 limit, but once we saw him at the weigh-ins and not even want to take his shirt off, you kind of suspected that he probably didn't come in the best shape. I feel like he's the type of guy that would take the kind of criticism that was thrown at him, going into that fight and kind of come back with a little bit of fire. Now, we might see him at a little bit better weight. I'm hoping that we see him at maybe even 250 would be nice. I mean, not the heavyweight limit. Don't make me think that you had to cut weight to make the heavyweight limit after you used to make 185 pounds back in the day. And a lot of people, they're counting Jake Collier out, especially after getting crushed in 45 seconds against Tom Aspinall. Now, I'm hoping that The little that we did see from Jake in that fight from Tom, you know, I wasn't super let down. I wasn't super unimpressed with Jake. You know what I mean? The fact that he could still get his leg up there and throw a head kick, even though it didn't even land, but the fact that he was able to throw out there was impressive on my end. I was expecting to see a much slower and completely just dull Jay Collier. And I wasn't overly, we still saw him throwing in combinations, throwing leg kicks, and that was somewhat impressive from the little bit we saw of him. Now we need to be able to differentiate Tom Aspinall and Gian Villante. I think a lot of people are baking the Tom Aspinall fight is heavily baked into this fight against Gian Villante because look, we saw Gian Villante go 3 rounds against Maurice Green, and yeah, he tapped to exhaustion in that third round. But Jay Collier, he got knocked out in 45 seconds. Tom Aspinall is not Gian Villante. They're on completely two different complete trajectories at this point in their careers. Tom Aspinall, kind of light on his feet, throws some good hands, throws those hands with speed. Gian Villante does not throw his hands with speed. He telegraphs his shots. He throws, he wings his shots. He's not as crisp as Tom Aspinall on the feet. So we need to clear that out first and foremost. This is not going to be Gian Villante going in there and just cracking Jay Collier once and Collier falling. I think people are truly overlooking the durability of Jay Collier just because of that last fight. And I think he still has some durability left in him. Like, I still think he'd be able to take those early shots from Gian Villante. And if this fight does go later, I kind of trust Collier to have slightly better cardio than what we've seen from Gian Villante in the past. We still see Collier, like I said, we saw him throwing in combinations. He's not just going out there trying to look for that one hitter quitter. You know what I mean? That's what Gian Villante does. So I like Jay Collier here. Call me crazy, but I would rather pay the plus 180, possibly even plus 200 that I think that we're going to get on Collier. Once we get closer into the fight week and closer to the fight, I think more people are going to go out there and fade Collier. So I'm more than happy to pull the trigger at plus 200. If I see plus 200 at any point, I'm going to pull that trigger on Jay Collier, and I don't care what anybody says. If you're giving me Jay Collier to fade Gian Villante, and even in Gian Villante in this type of shape, I'm fucking taking that every single day. I don't give a shit. And even let's put it this way: even when both fighters were in their peak conditioning, and when Jay Collier was at 185 pounds and Gian Villante was fighting at 205, both of them on their best days, I'm still taking Jay Collier. He shows a much better overall game. He shows good top control as well too. So even if he goes out there and takes Gian Villante down, I could see him controlling Villante from on top. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Why this line is as wide as it is, beyond me. Like, when this fight got announced, I'm like, it's going to be a pass. This will probably be a pick 'em anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how people can have utmost confidence on either side here. However, this line, for some goddamn reason, continues to trend in Gian Villante's way. God damn it, even opened up at minus 240 for Gian Villante, which is absolutely hilarious and a half. Good Lord. Jay Collier was plus 190 for a little bit. But yeah, I think we're still going to see plus 200 on Jay Collier, and I'm going to be all over that. Again, talk all the shit you guys want in the comments. I don't care. This fight is much closer to a 50-50 than a minus 220 for Gian Villante. Absolutely absurd. Absurd. I still think that Jay Collier could give us a solid performance. I'm kind of hoping that he comes in at that 250-ish at worst range. And again, even if he comes in at 265, I still think he could put up way better of a fight than a plus 180 or a plus 200 would indicate. So I'm going with Collier here. I think he either gets it done late or he wins a decision, but I'm liking Collier. Give me that money all day. Gian Villante is not trustworthy north of this price. If you got him in the minus 110, minus 150, not even minus 150, like, this should truly be a pick 'em fight. Truly. God damn, I got to stop this breakdown because it's just so crazy to me that people are betting him this high. But I got Jay Collier. More than likely will be my dog of the night play for this card. And, I'm recording this literally a week before the fight, so knock on wood that nothing happens with the fights. Nobody gets canceled or gets COVID, but I like Collier here. I think he's going to be massive value at this dog price. So I'm going with Jay Collier to win this fight. Again, late stoppage or a decision victory.